All right, good morning to you here on this Saturday, October the 8th. Wanted to give you a quick video here as we have Hurricane Matthew absolutely battering the Barrier Island south of Charleston down into North Georgia as well. Now, this is really the roughest impacts there has been in the United States from Matthew occurring this morning. Again, South Carolina down into Georgia. These are the most recent wind gusts. I'm cutting this video during the 5 o'clock hour this morning, but there are certainly some earlier reports that are more significant than this. I'll show you the most recent wind gust over the past 10 or 15 minutes. Again, as I cut the video, 81 mile per hour wind gust in Hilton Head. Earlier had an 83 mile per hour gust in Hilton Head, and down in Tybee Island, Georgia, a 94 mile per hour gust of wind. Already over 18 inches of rain in Bluffton, Georgia, and the surge with this has been quite significant. I'll detail that here in just a second. There's your warnings. Again, as I cut the video, you have hurricane warnings for coastal Georgia and South Carolina up toward Wilmington. You have tropical storm warnings up further to the north into the Outer Banks region of North Carolina. Matthew still pretty intense considering the amount of time has been so close to land. It is a Category 2. Here's the key factor. The pressure is still very, very low at 955 millibars. One of the factors of a hurricane that drives storm surge is barometric pressure, and that pressure remains quite low. And so as you get down here into coastal parts of South Carolina and Georgia, you had hours upon hours of this onshore flow. And for instance, in Savannah, the peak of the onshore flow also coincided with high tide, which was back during the 1 to 2 o'clock hour this morning. So there at Fort Pulaski, Georgia, you had a tide level of 12.5 feet. That is a new record. That exceeds the high tide level that was set in Hurricane David back in 1979. There's been reports of River Street flooding in Savannah with the water coming over the seawall. And I tell you what, I'm just really fearful to hear the reports of what's happened in places like Hilton Head and Fripp Island, Hunting Island, Ladies Island, those beautiful but very, very fragile South Carolina barrier islands south of Charleston. And I tell you what, it's about to get much rougher in Charleston this morning as that outer eye wall continues to move to the north along the coast. And I'll say this, people wonder about landfall. You have to get the point of lowest pressure, so basically the center of the eye, to cross the shore to get an actual landfall. So you still have not had a landfall technically occur. I think you're going to see one this morning, probably just southwest of Charleston. But again, as I cut the video, still no technical landfall. Up into the interior parts of North Carolina, the rain is really beginning to expand in coverage and intensity. There's what it looks like, again, during the 4 and 5 o'clock hours this morning. And this is going to be a really wet weather day. Now, you get back to the foothills, say west of Charlotte, northwest of Greensboro, the rain amounts are really going to taper off. But roughly Interstate 85 and points south and east, multiple inches of rain will likely occur. Let's talk about the winds. This is Futurecast showing you the center of Matthew crawling very near the South Carolina and the southern North Carolina coast and then out to sea. And even up here into the interior Carolinas, we will have wind to deal with. Now, not hurricane force winds, but we could easily see some 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts back toward parts of the Charlotte and Triad viewing areas, higher wind gust over around I-95. Additional rain amounts, potentially another 8, 9 plus, 10 plus inches of rain in parts of eastern North Carolina and northeastern South Carolina. And so obviously that's going to cause some problems. So you have flood watches up, again, roughly Interstate 85 points south and east. So here's the 5 a.m. advisory information on Matthew, about 20 miles southeast of Hilton Head, Category 2, 105 mile per hour winds. And this will crawl, again, very near the coast and eventually heading out to sea thereafter. But this will be a battering for South Carolina's coast and even parts of southeastern North Carolina really getting hit very, very hard. All right, so let's take a peek here at the setup. A cold front sliding into the region, and so that shield of rain will be with us as we continue through the day. Eventually, late today, this cold front will shove that all out of here, and so we have much drier and cooler air that will plunge in here tonight. So let's take it for instance here. There's a close-up view of Futurecast in the Triad. You can see the foothill areas, again, north and west of Charlotte, north and west of Winston-Salem. Amounts much, much lighter, but they really ramp up as you head further to the south and east. And then, again, there's your wind potential. Getting up there, 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds higher to the east, and it'll stay pretty breezy even right on through tonight and tomorrow as well. All right, tomorrow, speaking of Sunday, it's going to be a gorgeous weather day. A lot of outdoor events rescheduled from Saturday to Sunday, and the weather's going to be just fine. Maybe a little breezy, but it looks really, really nice. There's your high temperatures with plenty of sunshine tomorrow afternoon. And then the cool air really takes hold starting on Monday. Highs Monday, in spite of full sunshine, look like that. And then look at lows by Tuesday morning, well down into the 40s. It will be chilly to some extent for the big Monday night football game for the Panthers and the Buccaneers coming up on Monday evening. There's a quick snapshot of the 7-day. This is specifically for the Triad, but it'll be very similar for Charlotte as well. All right, so there's your quick edition of the video this morning. I wanted to get you some information out. Again, thoughts and prayers with all of the areas along the coast just getting hammered by Matthew this morning. And hopefully everything will come out okay on the other side, but it looks pretty rough this morning. All right, that's it for the latest edition of the video. Have a great weekend, and God bless.